Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel once again. You're finding me for the very first time. Be sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button. So, I'm assuming everybody already heard the news by now. This news broke late Sunday night. Everybody and their grandmother were doing videos on this. Unfortunately, this is the first opportunity I got to give my thoughts on this. So Bob Iger's autobiography came out, and in there he talked about how George Lucas felt betrayed because they didn't use his outline. So pretty much the whole thing about what I can't believe Bob Iger actually said this. And like, if I was Bob Iger, I would not come out in my autobiography and talk about this publicly, because it paints Bob Iger in such a bad way, and it paints Disney and their direction of Star Wars in such a bad way. So George Lucas, sold, Lucasfilm to Disney, and he sold 4 outlines, which was 7, 8, 9, and the Solo movie. It's his outline of those movies. Bob Iger bought them. He did say, I will say this for Bob Iger, he did tell George Lucas that they are contractually obligated to do his outlines. They are purchasing from them, but they don't have to use the material. And he talked about how George Lucas got a screening of episode 7, and George Lucas was just straight up upset. He felt betrayed. He felt like nothing in episode 7 pushed the narrative. Nothing was new. And I agree 100% with that. Now, let me show you my colors here, because I do love Force Awakens. I really like Last Jedi. Does that mean I like everything about what Disney has done with Star Wars? Absolutely not. So do not twist my words. I am just telling you that I enjoyed Force Awakens and I enjoyed The Last Jedi. That doesn't mean I enjoy everything about those films. So the one thing I can say about George Lucas and Star Wars is every time George Lucas made a Star Wars movie, it pushed the industry further. Star Wars: A New Hope pushed the industry and new heights that they never thought was possible. And they kept, one-upping themselves with Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. And then when Phantom Menace came out and Attack of the Clones came out, George Lucas pushed digital technology further and better than any other filmmaker in Hollywood. We would not have THX sound. We wouldn't have ILM the way that it is now. We would not have our movie. We would not have the Avengers look like what we saw in Endgame if it wasn't for George Lucas back in 1977 and what he did with Star Wars. If it wasn't for George Lucas, we would not have the movie-going experience that we have today. That is a fact. If you do not believe me, look it up, do your research. That is a 100% motherfucking fact. So by George Lucas saying, when he looked at episode 7, like, it didn't do anything new. George Lucas has the right to say that. Because George Lucas came out and every fucking thing he did pushed something new. You can sit there and say, well, up until this point, we never seen anything like that. We never seen you might not agree with all the movies. You might not like the prequels. You might be a fan of the prequels. I think we all can agree that the prequels had a great story, but it wasn't really executed the best way. George Lucas is a fantastic storyteller. And for the record, if it wasn't for George Lucas's story, there would be no Lucasfilm for Bob Iger to purchase. So maybe Bob Iger should have used those outlines. Do they have to stick to everything 100%? Absolutely not. But you can bring in a director like J.J. Abrams and a writer like Lawrence Kasdan, for instance, who helped write Force Awakens, and have J.J. Abrams and Lawrence Kasdan go over the outline and make it better. That's what Lawrence Kasdan did with Empire Strikes Back. George Lucas came out with the outlines for Empire and Return of the Jedi, and Lawrence Kasdan came out and he took it and he defined it. Like, he made it better. That's how you do these movies. That was something I thought the prequels were suffering. I'm a massive prequel defender. I will defend it to my dying breath, but it wasn't executed the best way. George Lucas is a fantastic creator, a fantastic storyteller. Not the best director, not the best script writer, but if you take his stories, his outlines, and you get the talent for directors and writers to come in and take his outline, you could have made episodes 7, 8, and 9 fucking spectacular. And you wouldn't have the divide in the fan base that you have now. But no, you took George Lucas and you threw him to the side. And you come out publicly, Bob Iger, you come out publicly in this autobiography and you basically just snitch on yourself, going, yeah, we kind of fucked up with Star Wars. You admit you fucked up with Star Wars. You literally dropped the ball. You purchased Lucasfilm, and the first thing you said was, how can we get a fucking movie out as fast as possible? Rather than sit there and go, what should this story be? What should the next 3 chapters in the Star Wars saga be? No, you guys were thinking about making fucking like spin-off movies, a Yoda movie, a Jabba the Hutt movie, Boba Fett movie. You were so focused on just producing massive amount of movies like it's the fucking MCU without having the time to earn what the MCU has established. It wasn't like Kevin Feige came out and like, we're doing Avengers second year and no, he slowly started with Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Captain America, and then they started pushing out more of these movies until they came up with the big one. You guys purchased Lucasfilm and you're fucking trying to throw movies around like you're fucking Oprah. You get a movie, and you fucked up. You fucked up because you started a trilogy without having the story for the motherfucking trilogy. You're like, JJ, go ahead, go. Lawrence Kasdan, go ahead, you got this. And then when the second chapter of your new trilogy comes out, you have no fucking game plan. So you're like, Rian Johnson, do your thing. And what happened? It split the fucking fan base even more so than what happened with the prequels. But if you would have stuck to fucking George Lucas's outline, you knew where you were going with the beginning, the middle, the end. Did you have to stick to that 100%? No, but you take someone who's a creative writer like a Lawrence Kasdan and a director like J.J. Abrams and have them work on his outline. And we could have had another Empire or Return of the Jedi. But no, you decided we want to do a retro movie to try to bring back the old school fans, and you did nothing to try to push the narrative. Now you pissed off the prequel fans and the OG fans. And for the record, I want again to say, I like these movies. I do. I like Force Awakens. I like Last Jedi. I like Rogue One. Solo being the only one that I just do not like. It's completely pointless. That was a Han Solo to me. There's things in it I like, sure, and I focus on what I like more than what I hate. That's why I'm kind of quiet on it. But I like these movies. But even as a fan, you can sit there and go, they fucked up. They had no idea where they were going. I have no idea what to expect in Episode 9. I have no idea. Episode 8 felt like the end of the trilogy. We have a character in Rey who has done absolutely nothing. Did she blow up Starkiller Base? No. She got captured. She had to be saved. Did she kill Snoke? No. That was Kylo. She has done absolutely nothing, yet she's getting all this praise. And for the record, I like Rey. I'm one of the ones that got goosebumps when she called the lightsaber in Episode 7. But you have to sit there and look and go, looking at the bigger picture, she hasn't done anything. She hasn't done anything. It was Han Solo that set the charges with Chewbacca in order to blow up the thing inside Starkiller Base so Poe can then fly in and destroy Starkiller. That was Han, Chewie, and Poe. Even Finn tried as best he could. What did Rey do? What did Rey do? See, that's the problem. Lucasfilm and Disney didn't have a coherent story. They were just piecing the shit as it went together, and they done fucked up. And now we have proof. And for all the people out there who are massive haters of Disney, because once again, guys, I like these movies. I focus on the positive rather than the negative. But even me, I looked at it and I'm like, y'all fucked up. And imagine the people that absolutely hate this. You just gave them so much more to hate. You just gave them more of a reason because you just proved their point, Bob Iger. You literally proved their point. And it drives me nuts. Anyway, guys, I can talk about this for like 3 hours, but I want to know what you guys think. How did you feel when you found out that Bob Iger pretty much just, snitched on himself and said, yeah, we kind of fucked up with Star Wars. We betrayed George Lucas. We threw out his outline. Imagine what could have been. Can you imagine what could have been? Now it feels like this trilogy is not even part of Star Wars. It's like, I hope they take George Lucas's outlines and make it a comic book series so we can have like the real story arc of 1 through 9. because now it feels like we have a incomplete story arc. I don't know. That's just how I feel. I got a lot of emotions going through my head right now. But I want to know what you guys think. Be sure to leave your comments in the comment box below. Until next time, as always, I'm Robert Storms, and that's my opinion.